Germany. She spent parts of her life in Italy and France, and she moved to Johannesburg in the year 2010. And by the look of things, visual artist, designer, and cultural activist Marion Boehm is here to stay. Her work, which has become the reflection of Black South Africa, with a piercing focus on the beauty of women and children, can be best described at the point where hard work meets talent and creativity. Her latest exhibition, which showcases her large signature collage pieces produced with recyclable materials, is currently on at In Toto Gallery in Johannesburg until the 2nd of November. It's called Paper and Patches. And joining me in studio now to talk more about it is Megan Kidd, who is the curator at the gallery. Megan, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me.
Describe Marion's work first, because a lot of our viewers for the first time will hear about this person who is, we've described as when talent meets creativity.
Exactly. So Marion comes from Germany. She moved here in 2010, and she happened to meet a man named Bolo who invited her to his home. So she drove to Kliptown, not knowing where Kliptown was, and basically found that Bolo had opened up his home to the community, and children would come there after school, get help with their homework, and she basically became more and more entrenched in this community. She started a vegetable patch initiative because she found a lot of the little kids weren't eating properly. And coming from a European background, she was completely blown away by how people who live so far below the breadline shared everything with one another and with her, and opened up their homes to her, and it actually changed her whole outlook on life. So her first exhibition with us was in 2013, and it was called Patches. Yeah. So this exhibition is an extension of that idea. It still pays homage to these incredible characters that she's met during her time here in South Africa.
How was the reaction to the first exhibition? Obviously, it must have been great because you're doing a second one.
Yes. So it was an incredibly successful show. We actually extended it by a week because of the response. People were coming back again, bringing back friends, bringing back family. And I think that the immense power of her work lies not only in the incredible detail and size of her portraits, but also the intimacy. You can tell that the artist knew these people. And as you walk around the gallery space, you really get a feel for all of these beautiful characters.
You talked about just that early part of her life here in South Africa and how it's impacted her work. But why is she so moved by Black South Africa? And why is her work so reflective of life in townships?
I think because of the enormous amount of time that she spent there. You know, coming from a German background and suddenly entrenching herself into township life and trying to make a difference, she really was touched by the people there. She's actually moved back to Germany for the meantime, but she comes back often. Her heart is here. She completely lost her heart to South Africa.
The significance of extending the work and calling it Paper and Patches.
Yes. So the reason why we actually played the title on the previous one is because the aesthetic is very similar. As you walk around the exhibition, you'll recognize her work. She has explored many more mediums. Her first exhibition was primarily photographs, worked over with collage in newspaper and shweshwe material. This time she's extended that to many more recycled materials. There's comic strips, there's beautiful fabrics. There's one work where she's incorporated an old found corset, leather, and it really is an extraordinary use of a variety of materials.
And it's so really reflective of where we are at the moment when we're talking about sustainability and finding unique ways of using things that are in our environment.
Exactly. So she tried to use materials that are actually relevant to that community. So there are people in Kliptown who recycle with newspapers every day as part of their income. They wear shweshwe material, and actually recycling is a big part of township life just because that's the way things are. So she wanted to reflect that in her work.
So In Toto is a very intimate gallery. Why were you so moved and maybe determined to exhibit her work here?
I think because it's only every so often that you come across a portrait artist that really manages to capture someone's soul. And I think that Marion's work speaks very specifically to South African people. As you walk around the gallery, you'll see the colors, the textures, the faces. You know immediately that these people are from South Africa.
Obviously, the exhibition runs until the 2nd of November. Just talk to me very quickly about just some of the reaction and the feedback you've gotten from those that were fortunate enough to see the exhibition.
Well, It's actually interesting to compare international visitors to local visitors.
Yeah.
International visitors are blown away that this is a European artist. They walk into the gallery and they immediately assume it must be an artist from South Africa. And local visitors are charmed. I think that's the word I would use. They are completely enamored by her work. It radiates a very beautiful, lovely aura.
I just want to talk quickly, and a lot of people also hear about In Toto Gallery very quickly. Just very quickly, a brief history of the gallery, because it sits in Birdhaven.
Yes. So we opened the gallery at the end of 2010. We're a small gallery and we focus on quality over quantity. So we display both international artists and local artists, but primarily local. And we also deal in historical works and contemporary pieces. So the whole idea behind it being called In Toto, which means all-encompassing in Latin, is that we display a very wide variety of works, including photography, lithographs, photographs, sculpture, paintings, drawings. So every time you walk into the gallery, it looks completely different.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you, Megan Kidd, talking to us. She's the curator of Paper and Patches, which is currently on at it's an exhibition, and it showcases the work of visual artist Marion Boehm, currently on at the In Toto Gallery in Birdhaven, Johannesburg. The exhibition will close on the 2nd of November, which gives you really enough time to see it and experience the magic of Marion Boehm. You don't really actually have a reason for not going to check it out. To find out more, just Google the details. We take an ad break. You don't go anywhere.